mean? That's the it's literally right there. You didn't have binoculars on. Oh, idiot. Shut. What's up, guys? It's freaking late and it's really, really cold. And because of recent events, we are back working nights and days to catch up on a few things. And you see behind us, the mighty VY tonner with the stroker in it. It sat idle for a little while and then we got back to actually doing a few things with it, and I'll post that in now. What's up, guys? Time to continue on with this VY again. I've gone down and collected another condenser out of one of our parts cars down there. So this one's in much better condition. It's not perfect, but it's still a lot better than the one that came out of it. So that's going to go into this car. Then we can continue to try and get this car sort of back together some more. As you saw in the last episode, we've got the pipes to fit. So now I need to try and get the converter bolts done up so that I can try and get the starter back in, so that then I can actually get the pipes on and get all the steering and everything back in the car, because I need to be able to push the car back off the hoist now. So that's going to be the aim of today. So we'll get into it and get done. So this is our new condenser. This came out of the parts car that we used to build the 80 series. So better condition than the other one. Not as bent for one. So that can go in, and then we can start with the radiator and stuff like that. I have noticed though, since having the car in here, you can see there's obviously a leak there. The only thing that's still left in the front is the transcooler. So we've obviously got a bit of a leak from this fitting down here. So before anything goes in, I'll just have a quick look at that, see if I can maybe sort that out and fix that, because we don't want to have a leak there. But like I said, I need to try and get this thing sort of back together so I can get the steering stuff back in. We're still waiting to hear back from ProFlow about what their solution for this manifold is. Unfortunately, until then, it's hard because we still need to modify the injector loom for the new injectors, which is easier to do before the loom goes in. But we don't want to modify that until we know this manifold's going to work, because it could, the plans could change. This could all potentially change, so we don't want to go modifying the loom quite yet. But before the starter goes in, we have to put in the crank angle sensor, because it's behind the starter. It's a real bitch to get at if you put the starter in before you put the crank angle sensor plug in. So that being said, even though it's going to be easier for the loom over there, if I want to continue on getting the starter in and getting all the steering stuff back together, I actually need to lay the loom back over to get the crank angle sensor in. So sort of a double-edged sword. It's going to be hard, make it harder for ourselves one way or another, but like I said, I need to be able to push this thing outside off the hoist. So at the very least, I need to get the steering stuff back together, because I've got other work to do on here while we wait for the tail shaft and a few other things to finish this off. Alright, that sucked, but starter's in, converter bolts are done up, everything's done there. Got the steering back in. Holy crap, she's tight. I'm really hoping that once these pipes are tight down on the head that there's some clearance there. But at least we know that the steering shaft's going to work. There's clearance for the steering shaft. But that is very, very tight. Very tight. So anyway, just had to lay the loom in. It is how it is. Keeps catching on everything on me. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. If we're going to have to modify it, we're just going to have to do it in situ. Anyway, it is what it is. Not much else we can do about it. I had to get that crank angle sensor in. There's no way you can happily do that nice and easily with the once the starter's in there, so had to happen. Plus we actually had to, with that crank, we actually had to space the crank angle sensor off the block a bit to give it enough clearance to the reluctor wheel, because it was way too close. So we're fingers crossed we got that distance on the shim right the first hit, because I really don't want to have to pull that starter out to get at that crank angle sensor, because that is a massive pain in the ass. Even with the steering rack dropped, that was so tight and hard to get in. So and it's freaking boiling hot. Alright, so I've just cleaned and flushed the radiator and these hoses and everything else. It's got to go back in the car. Righto guys, so given that pipe's got to come back out, and heaps of stuff starts to happen to this car, and with the shifter and everything, it's sort of just keep hitting walls where I get stuck with one person to try and do a lot of things. So we've got other cars here that I need to get started on where I can do a lot of the stuff by myself. So decided just to push this out for now, and we'll probably get to this again next week or something like that. Got other cars to get to at the moment, so we'll pick this up very soon for you guys. Also, I do now realise that that's the way the reverse lockout extension is meant to go. So I won't be putting it on backwards, I'll be putting it on the right way, which is great. Righto guys, it's been a while. Probably doesn't feel like it for you because this is a succession in a video, but it's actually been quite a long time since we've been working on this heifer. But anyway, as you can see, it's back inside, and this thing's taken a complete new turn. This build's gone a complete new direction. The owner's gone completely different with it, which means, for the most part, undoing most of this work for now. So gearbox has got to come back out. motor's got to come back out. Anyway, we'll go through it a bit more as we go, but the mission for today is just to get the gearbox out because I've got to take it back to the guy who built it tomorrow so that it can be upgraded some more. What do you reckon, Rex?
Upgrades.
Upgrades. Anyway, the best part about this change of direction is we don't have to use that stupid manifold anymore. And I'm sure with that piece of information, you can probably understand exactly what's going to be going on here. So, motor's got to come back out because we've got to pin the crank for a certain reason.
I thought you already told them in a previous video what was going on.
Oh, probably. It's no secret. I think it's a real secret, but anyway, motor's got to come back out because we've got to pin the crank. Gearbox has got to go back and get built. So, that's fun. But anyway, at least this thing, once it's done now, is going to be a combo that really matches the look of the car. And we're definitely going to be making use of these big headers. It'll be interesting to see how these CNC heads go with a bit of boost, particularly with this cam on this 383 package. So it'll be good fun. Anyway, what's not fun is undoing all the work we've already done, but you get that on the big jobs. You do get that. Alright, that was relatively okay. Much easier with two people than it was getting in there by myself. But now we've got a box out here. It's ready to go back to Lunatech to get some upgrades. So it's getting full manual valve body, trans brake. And we're actually, this one's staying forward pattern, it's not going reverse pattern. So it just makes it a bit nicer as far as being more of a street car, I suppose you'd say. A bit more intuitive as far as regular automatic street cars go, being forward pattern, not reverse pattern. So, and it'll be rated to 750, I think, believe they're rated to at that point. So at the start of this build, the owner was pretty much on the, of the idea that he was pretty much only going to really street this car. He was going to build it ASPO for now and maybe supercharge it later. And he was like, oh, he'd never go launch it on sticky tires, this and that, that's fine. But since then, he sort of decided he would like the option to go and launch it on sticky tires if he wants to. So box has got to get upgraded. Plus, now the motor's getting boost, the box has got to get upgraded. So off it goes. And we'll be back when we get some stuff back for it. All right, so as you can see, we finished it.
See the spider? There's spider webs everywhere.
It's covered in spider webs. So, as you can see, we got the 383 built. We got it in the car with the gearbox. I got the shifter in there. That's pretty much where we got it to when we stopped. There was some discrepancies with the owner about what exactly was going on. And there was some, I suppose, misunderstandings with what was happening, I guess you would say. And it sort of stayed idle until we sorted things out. And from there, things just escalated. And basically the thing sat idle while a heap of things behind the scenes happened, and we came to some agreements, and some new things were bought, and some extra spicy sauce was thrown in. And yeah, that's pretty much what happened. And it's taken this long to pretty much get said spice back. We finally just got our gearbox back after you just saw us pull it out. We got that back today. It is now a little bit spiced up. I'll take you over there and have a look in a minute. But anyway, basically, we had to sit pause while this thing got sorted out, exactly what was going to happen with it, exactly which direction it was going, so that we could actually continue on with the build, which we are doing right now, and that's where we are. So, like I said, we're here working nights to catch up on a few things. It's very cold, and tonight's job is to get the gearbox back into this thing so we can measure up our tail shaft so that we can get that ordered, so that throughout the week we can then pull the gearbox and motor back out again and fit some spicy upgrades. I'll take you through that right now.
Always off the trans brake.
Off the trans brake. Yeet. It is the worst trans jack I've ever had to work with. Our mighty 383 stroker has just been sitting in here all lonely for quite some time now, so pull it back out.
Put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out.
Yeah, well, it's more fun the second or third time.
What do we need to practice?
Apparently. So here's a pretty red box that's arrived for us. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, you're about to find out because I'm going to open it.
Bloody silly goose.
You're a goose. So anyway, this is Boost Gumps, where we don't hold out and you get to see exactly what everyone else already knew.
That's it. It's a power bond underdrive balancer. That's what's going to pick us up like 50% power. Just fucking
beautiful.
That. Oh, and that we're going to stick that on a 2, and that'll just 100 horsepower right there.
Can't you just do that with a Chev badge?
Just yeet it at it. Oh, you can.
It's already got Convo Pros on it.
Well, we can't put a Chev badge and that badge on it too. It's only an alloy block. It's too much.
Oh.
It's too much power.
Oh, could you please move this box the other way?
Just cover it up.
No, the white box, I mean.
You're a white box.
Move it out of the way. I want it there. Oh, big reveal. Woohoo! Yeah. So anyway, as these guys know, we were building the 383 for potential boost in future. It was like, oh yeah, I've ordered this thing. So anyway, here it is. So this is our Harrop HTV 2300, ready to go onto our 383 stroker with CNC ported heads in this heinous can that we've got. It is just huge. So it's going to be a wild unit nonetheless. So for that reason, our 500 horsepower built what we call the street box or the hot rod box from our box builder was not going to do the thing. It wasn't going to hold up. So the box went back to the box builder to get re-stripped and then rebuilt again. We now have a trans-braked full manual valve bodied turbo 400, but it's still Ford pattern and it still has engine braking. So it's a very unique turbo 400. It's probably one about it's one of our box builders, well, our only box builder. We only know one of them, which it's good because he's really good, but he doesn't do a few boxes, which is a pain. But turbo 400s, he's the man. But anyway, it's one of his like full weird custom valve bodies, which allows him to go full trans brake, but still be Ford pattern and still has engine braking and a heap of other fancy stuff, which he told us, which apparently is a very, very rare thing. So this is our turbo 400 back, as you can see.
Would you like me to explain? Because I know.
Oh yeah, let's talk to the guy who knows, guys. This guy knows what's up.
The gearbox expert.
Alright, so tell us about your gearbox, mate.
Well, it's unique in that it's got it's got a black pump on it, as you can see.
Well, that's good because I was already pointing at the wrong box. I'm glad you came over here.
Yeah, and there's this shaft that's sticking out the front.
So anyway, here's our great big box. This thing is the flux capacitor, which if you turn it inside out makes it go.
No, it's a flux gavel. That's what it is.
Anyway, tell us about your gearbox.
Anyway, as I was saying, this shaft sticking out here is custom. They don't normally have that at all. That's a special custom aftermarket edition.
I'm glad that this gearbox expert came to talk to us.
No, in all seriousness though, Ford pattern, trans-braked, but retains engine braking, which is not normal. Most trans-braked valve bodies.
This is exactly what I just said. I just said exactly all this.
Oh, fuck me then, I'll just go sit in the corner. Did you tell me about the neutral safe?
No, because I don't know what that means.
Yeah, well, it's safe to put it in neutral.
There you go, guys. Boxes aren't safe to put in neutral.
Well, it's not normal. It's not normal. I'm not telling you why anymore because you've hurt my feelings. So
no, so for real, from what this guy was telling me this afternoon, which is the only reason I know this, apparently it's really bad. Knock your gearbox into neutral at the end of a run or something because it turns the planetaries and everything at double speed.
Yeah, not fun.
Not fun. Anyway, I'm sure we've confused ourselves enough and everyone else watching.
The other important thing too, like I did over here saying, is that the trans brake valve body in this is just that reverse and neutral are normal. In a lot of the trans brake valve bodies for these things, to select reverse, you actually have to put it in neutral and engage the trans brake button.
Right.
If you try and use reverse like a normal gearbox, it will wreck it.
Gotcha.
But this one's idiot proof, basically.
Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. As confusing as this whole exchange may have been, basically what we're trying to say is that it's really good in that it's a trans-braked full manual box, but it's also really good in that it's still Ford pattern, it's neutral safe, and it retains a regular reverse. So it's basically a very nice streetable gearbox that is still built to handle 800 horsepower and still has a trans brake.
Oh, comfortably 600 now.
Ah, 600.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 600.
Either way.
Yeah, so 500, not quite enough. We spent literally double the cost of the original build, and now it's good for 600. Yeah, obviously, I was only trying to stir Matt up because he's going to watch this video.
Ah.
It's still good for 600.
I was about to say. All right, anyway. Enough fluffing around. We've got to get this thing up, get the gearbox in so we can measure our tail shaft so we can get that ordered so that we can get the box back out and get this back out. We've also got, now that we're going boosted straight away and not future boost, we've got a few things to add to the bottom end. We actually got from VCM. It's sort of like a girdle, as much as it is a spacer for the actual crank scraper. So for our stroker, obviously, we did have some clearancing issues for our windage tray or crank scraper, if you'd like to call it that. So VCM actually make what is it's sort of a spacer, but it's also acts a bit like a girdle in that it's going to space it enough for our 4-inch stroke, but it's also going to tie in all the mains quite nicely like it's a girdle, which obviously for anyone who is familiar with Gen 3 alloy blocks, when you start pushing the sort of power we're going to be looking to make out of this thing now, it's when they start to get quite unhappy and start generating quite a bit of twist. And when they start getting twists, that's when you start getting hairline cracks down the main webbing. So it is very important of these blocks to have some sort of girdle system when you're starting to push massive for these things, power. So the Gen 3 alloy blocks aren't the strongest of the LSs, obviously. So it's definitely going to help us a lot in what we're trying to do. And just try and make this thing all round just an absolutely bulletproof combo. So one thing at a time.
A girdle.
Girdle.
I would like a girdle.
Girdle. Anyway, I'll show you that as we go. It's probably the next episode for how long this clip's gone on for. But yeah, excited to say the least to be actually finishing this project completely with boost and everything else. It's going to be flapping sweet. But after all that, that silly Proflow manifold that we spent all that time trying to make work, and the throttle body, and the throttle, all of that's a waste of time now. We're not using any of it anymore. So as well as now having our box rebuilt to handle the new power goal that we're going to be chasing with the build, no longer using that Red Diamond 2800 converter that we did have set aside for this project, that is one of Rexel converters from Raucus. That is now going in the yellow one. We're now getting a complete new converter made, which is on its way as well. That should be here this week. So, you know, as much as this project's been sitting around quite a while now, the plan is pretty much over the next 2 weeks to get all this together and get it done. Also, just to clarify, because I know we talk a lot of nonsense, the gearbox is in fact rated by the builder at 800 horsepower. 800 horsepower, that is, you know, on the trans brake sort of thing. It's frickin', for us, we could, yeah. I'd be comfortable pushing 4 figures through that box. I'm sure it'll be fine. But it's rated at 800 horsepower, not 600. Rex was just being a jerk. So another thing that we've only actually just remembered now that we've got it up in the air looking at the back of the engine is when we first built this thing and put it together, when we were looking at sort of 500 horsepower, we were happy to just run just an RTS flex plate. It's a cheap option, awesome as far as just converting or putting a turbo 400 on an LS. Works awesome, but not SFI rated or anything like that. So we were fine. We were happy to run it at the 500 horsepower, but now we're looking at significantly more than that. And, you know, launching on the trans brake, etc. Probably not cool. Not going to cut it. So we just so happen to have another project on the go that is going to receive that flywheel perfectly. It's going to work great for that thing. But for this, we're going to actually purchase a proper SFI rated flywheel to go with, you know, the new converter and then our new big box and all of this new power and our new big tail shaft. And probably going to have to do something with the 9-inch yet, but we haven't thought about that yet. Going to need a new fuel system. Like, this car is going to be significant. As I always said through the entire build in the first few episodes, I was so stoked to finally ever see this car have, you know, bulk power. I mean, it's filthy at the moment because it's been sitting and it's gotten all dusty, but you know, this thing it's tough as, so it's going to be sick to actually see it with some bulk power. What do you reckon, Rex? Are you excited about this build now again? Yeah. Bit of boost. We've also ordered a nice big cooler from PWR for our transmission. Keep our nice brand spanking new Turbo 400 nice and cooled. And obviously the TVS 300 includes a heat transfer heat. Why do I keep messing this up?
I'm not going to help you this time.
Did it the other day while the VE was here as well. I could not.
What does it do? It hands something over and gets something back.
Heat transfer. That's...
what is it? Not a transfer. It's more of a two-way transaction. Yeah. Give one, take one.
This is the worst feeling. You're not how stupid I feel.
You should try watching this happen. When two people, if I was to give you something and you give me something in return, what are we doing? We are
transfer. Why can't I get it? It's because I got heat transfer in my head, so my mentally is just like, no, that's it. You can't. There's nothing further than
I don't know how much. I don't know what else I can say to give you a clue that isn't actually just saying the word.
Well, could you just say the word?
No.
Oh.
I'm gonna let you run with that one.
Painful. Exchanger, that's the word I'm looking for. Heat exchanger. What a painful experience that was. It's too late and cold. My brain is frozen. Anyway, so obviously TVS 2300 comes with its new heat transfer. There you go again.
There you go again.
Heat exchange. Heat exchange. Why am I like this? Anyway, so we need a new PWR cooler. And yeah, as I said, girdle, blower, new box, new converter, new flywheel, new tail shaft, new heaps of things. So we're a bit dubious on this 9-inch as to what center is in it and how good it's going to be. So that might be something that we need to pay some attention to. Have you spoken to him about that at all, Rex?
I said he's going to have to do something.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. So maybe a true track or something in the 9-inch there just to get it sort of sorted, and we'll have a look at what axles and stuff are in it when we pull it out, but it should be good. And then obviously a fuel system to suit. So that's pretty much how the ton is going now, which is very exciting, very exciting. At the moment, the plan is to do it on 98, tune it on 98. There's not real much point in us going to E85 with the combo that's in it because we're going to make the power on 98. So at this stage, there's no plans to go E85 right now. So it's just going to be 98 with our new fuel system. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all we wanted to really achieve tonight. We'll probably just pull this gearbox back out and drop this car back down. That'll be it for the night. And that's probably enough for an episode with this footage that I'd thrown at the start. So sorry for this, a bit of a nonsensical episode, but just had to explain exactly where this had been and what the new plan is. And we're super excited, so I really just wanted to get it out there and explain it to you guys how excited we are. So we're going to keep on going, pretty much working nights over the next 2 weeks, trying to get this thing pretty much back together and back in the car, almost sorted. Yeah, we want to get it done now that we've got all the parts here, we've got our new direction. We just want to smash it out because it's been here for so freaking long. And yeah, it would really just be nice to get it finished and make some bulk power. So hope you're looking forward to it. We're freaking stoked at this point. We're going to endeavor to smash it out as quick as we can. Thank you for watching. As always, smash like, smash subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out. See you. Bye.